one, go.
So I just saw The Shadow Strays. The Shadow Strays is mostly a martial arts action flick, but also features gunplay, a la John Wick. It can be compared to films like The Raid 2, and The Night Comes From Us. If I understood it, it's even from the director of Night Comes From Us. So it kind of gives you an idea what to expect violence-wise. Now, in general, I like martial arts and I don't mind it to be violent or gory. I mean, sometimes that is necessary. I mean, depends on the context of the film and depends on the events what have transpired and everything. But I've noticed that in these films and in The Raid 2 more than the original, and in The Night Comes From Us, it's very bloody and almost no art to it. It's like they chop off heads, they chop off arms, they cut in people's mouths and tongues and faces. I mean, sure, it's cool for a bit, but it gets real tiresome, especially in this film where like the duration is like 2.5 hours. And maybe other people have said it's almost non-stop action. That is not true. I mean, there's a lot of like there are some breaks in between, but yeah, it's a lot of action and some fights they just go on and I can't say I'm saying this, but like usually if action is good, I want it to last. I want it to last and enjoy and just but if even I am at one point, I'm like, okay, we're like, this is already too long. Just stop it already. Just continue, move on to the next action sequence or something like more creative. Because in the end, it's all the same. A lot of the action sequences it's a repetition of what has transpired before. I mean, like, yeah, it's mostly martial arts and where they use knives or swords and stuff like that. And then yeah, and they do like use guns and weapons to change it up. It's the action to change it up, and that works. The gunplay is excellent. Also very gory and violent, but it kind of makes sense, and but yeah, most of it is beautifully choreographed, so I can really appreciate it. I think it's too much martial arts in the sense of like sword play versus gunplay, and the gunplay I think was more entertaining and also very believable. More believable, how believable is it that a very skinny girl or a skinny young woman is able to like fight against like not let's say 50, 60 guys and not get beaten up? I mean, I get that she's like almost like a super soldier and that she has a lot of training and everything. I don't doubt that. I mean, I'm sure, but it's like at one point it's like she beats up men very easily, and it just doesn't make sense. And then in the one fight there's where she's like beating the crap out of a lot of men, and then she has this one guy, and then he's supposedly also very skilled, but she can't defeat him. That is, and then when it really matters, she says, "Okay, I'll resort to my gun," and then finishes him, which is the smart move because that is what had been doing. That's what she should have been doing in the first place. Because a lot of these fights they last and last and last, and like come on. Like nobody has that kind of stamina. I mean, that is even unbelievable in the martial art films of the old school martial arts movies. I mean, I think even back then, even in the older movies, older Chinese and Hong Kong movies, they always like show that the men get tired, so they like take a rest, or they drink up, or they eat up, or like they change it up, or like they do. I mean, it's like even in those movies they like, okay, It's we need a break, or we need to do something else, or need to move on. Who is this made for? Who is this made for? Because I already asked this question in the review of The Raid. The people say it's the best martial arts movies. This is the best martial arts movie ever. It's like, nah. Martial arts, it's like already has it in the name. Arts. It should be like kind of about art. There should be something special about the way they fight, and it should be beautiful to watch. And yes, maybe it's not always realistic, and I get that. I mean, it's like if it's for example, if a lot of wire work is involved, yeah, that becomes unbelievable. Maybe that's not really entertaining for some, but it depends. It depends how you use it, and these fights, like if they would have used more if the fights actually been more realistic, the fights wouldn't be lasting that long. That's the point. Like you need to, like, I don't mind the long action sequence, but make people tired, or let them maybe for comic relief, show somebody was like, oh my god, again I have to go against that woman again. Never mind, I'll quit, or something like that. Because and then that's another thing I wanted to mention. This movie takes itself too seriously for like a film that is about ninjas and corrupt politicians who engage in trafficking people and wars. Like, come on, it's like it's almost too much. It's like all this time I was thinking, like, this almost looks like it's a comic book movie. Only this time, like, instead of people having superpowers, they're using martial arts skills, and I'm sure a lot of people will say, well, this is the action and violence that the people like would act out or would perform in real life. But in real life, if you would use a sword or use gunplay, you're done like within seconds. It's like you really think you could last when your arm is chopped off, or like you cut, somebody stuck a knife in you. Like, come on, like have you even have people even have paper cuts that hurts? Yeah, you can, like, it's not I mean, that's not comparable to a sword, but just imagine that some people like already can't do stuff because of those things. You're gonna tell me that, like, if you like been like stabbed with a huge machete and all those things, you're still able to fight and come out clean? Come on. It's ridiculous. I mean, yes, I like it when people who get stabbed still are able to fight back. I mean, come on, it's like you have to suspend disbelief in these movies. But come on, you need to know when to stop and move on. And there's another problem I had with this movie. It just goes on and on and on. It doesn't know when to end. There's this movie, like the Lord of the Rings, has like 3 endings, and story wise isn't like actually telling a lot. It's only telling there are more ninjas, or shadows as they call them, that who are out to kill the lead 13. And I'm like, okay. And then she gets help from someone, and who is also a famous face. He's also known from The Raid. And I mean, it's like obviously sequel bait. And I'm sure there is. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a sequel, but somebody needs to teach these people to tone it down a little, make it make it shorter, tighter, and make the fights more interesting instead of just bloody and gory. I mean, bloody and gory only gets you so far. Be creative. Like, that is what I would like to see, and I'm a fan of martial arts flicks. I've seen old school, new ones. It's like I read in a review that somebody complained about like the story being incomprehensible and that it was incoherent. And well, no, I mean I kind of get the vibe. I kind of get what they were going for. It's like you have this shadow, like an assassin who's told to like cool down or like wait for instructions, and then she gets involved with this crime syndicate because of a boy she gets herself attached to. It's like that is an old trope, and it makes sense, and I don't mind that trope for these kinds of movies. It's serviceable, so I don't mind that. But like I don't think it was incoherent. But the one thing that doesn't make sense is that in this world some people like immediately die, and that some like are like Superman, like they're able to withstand the stabbing, and then they can survive when they have like 20 bullets in them. I mean, come on, be consistent. At least be consistent. Well, I watched it on Netflix in Dolby Vision and then the bright setting, and it was very dark. I mean, most of the action was was visible, but I didn't understand always why everything had to be so dark. Maybe to hide some CGI work or something. I had no idea. I don't know, but maybe I mean, it makes sense because it's about the shadows, and the shadows work best in the dark. So I get that, but like, it would have made sense if they continually would act like that. Actually, that would have made sense if they actually would act like ninjas, not like full frontal combat. If they would hide in the shadows, then strike, and then retreat, and then use stealth a little more. Maybe they should have done that. Maybe they should have like changed it up a little. Not gonna lie, I mean, I really enjoyed the action. I mean, sometimes it's satisfying to see like that kind of violence, but like not for like 2 hours, not for like 2.5 hours. That just defeats the purpose. It's like the action has to be satisfying, and yes, I like sometimes you can be violent, but you need to like change it up. But I'm now repeating myself, so I'm sure you're getting the point now. So I still don't get why they went for such a long duration. I really don't, because like if you like compare this movie to John Wick 4, that movie is also almost like you can say that it has like almost non-stop action. Like it's there's a lot of fucking action in that one, but they very wisely like cut it up in part. You get like a big action sequence, then there's a break, there's dialogue scene, and then some lore, and then you get like a big action sequence again. And it's not always all the same. They do like try to like be a little creative in the settings and the way they fight, and the dynamics and everything. And that movie is like what, like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something, if I remember correctly. And I never got bored with that one. Never. I just wanted to last. But with this one, I'm already like after half an hour, I was like, okay, we get it. Get on. Move it. Move on, please. Like, see my point? Like, there is something in the way they fight, the way they choreograph the action, that it just is not that compelling to watch. It's just like it gets tiresome. And correct me if I'm wrong, that can never be the goal. You should never get exhausted or So yeah. So can I recommend this? Well, it's hard. I think I'm sure people who like the Raid 2 and The Night Comes From Us are gonna eat this one up. I think personally, compared to The Night Comes From Us, this one is better. Can I recommend it? I don't know. I think people like old school people like me who have been watching kung fu movies since forever. And I think I think say what you want about the old kung fu movies. I mean, even the ridiculous ones were like with all the styles and everything. there's something to them. Like at least they are trying to give you some diversity. They showing you different styles and different ways of defeating somebody, and whether you like it or not, it does change up the choreography, changes up the pacing. Can I say something about the lead? I liked her. I really liked her. She's pretty. She's a badass. I wish she yeah, I don't know, I mean, she's like the stereotype assassin, or like a big heart, but she doesn't talk much and everything. I mean, come on, change up the stereotypes. Why not have her be talking a lot and then, but then when she has to fight, she's serious, or maybe not maybe have more humor in it. I mean, come on. And like I said, she's very they even have to say that she's muscular, but it's not really visible. She's a skinny woman, skilled woman. She seems very skilled, but come on.